You cannot convince me that we are not slaves. Once people said, give me liberty or give me death. Now they say, make me a slave, just pay me enough. Whenever I get off the PATH train in New York, the multitudes of people going to work always fascinates me. Like literal hordes of people getting up 5 days a week to spend at least a third of their day making somebody else money. All while the rich stay at home kicking up their feet while we slave away for them, and we're all just cool with it, as long as we get paid enough. While they're on vacation living life to the fullest, we're at work funding their lifestyles while the stress of work slowly kills all of us.
Yo, who do you work for? Who do you think these people work for? They're not making somebody else rich. They're enriching themselves. It's a two-way street. If you think these people are just going to work for nothing because they're bored, no, it's a contract. They offer you a job to make some widgets. In exchange for you making widgets, they pay you a wage that you don't have to accept, a wage that you can negotiate, a wage that you can say, no thanks, I'm good. But when you accept that wage and you sign your employment contract, that's a handshake. You make the widgets, they pay you a wage. Like what am I missing? What is so slavery about that? I don't understand it. What you may be talking about is people just going to work with no purpose, no goal, so therefore your life feels kind of empty. And until you find a purpose, until you find a goal, you'll probably go from job to job, no matter what the salary is. And you'll get that same feeling. But to say that it's just modern day slavery, it's a cop out. It really is a cop out. What you're really saying is a lot of people out here don't have goals, and they are living their lives for someone else that does have a goal. Think about that. It's not slavery. You're getting a paycheck. Last time I checked my, textbooks, slaves didn't get paid.
That is injustice at its root. You can never convince me that we are not slaves.
We gotta get it together. Jesus Christ. All you're really saying is you don't understand your purpose yet. You don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. And a lot of people that are going to work, they're not slaves. They can leave anytime they want. That is their right. They can fire the company the same way the company can fire them. Whether they choose to act on that or not, personal choice. But they are receiving a paycheck, so there's nothing slave about it. We just got to do better. We just really got to do better. And you do that by setting goals for yourself. Check my other videos, man. I feel like I say this until I'm blue in the face, but when you see people that are in society doing very well, whatever you consider doing very well, those people have goals. They have targets that they aim for. They have something in their head that's like, I want to do that, and I'm going to work towards achieving that. Whatever that is, they have a purpose, they have a goal. It can be a big goal, it can be something smaller scale, it doesn't matter. They have a goal. When you see people that are just mindlessly going along, people that jump on TikTok, jump on social media, and they're complaining about, oh, this is slavery and 9 to 5, da, 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 da. That's usually because they don't have goals. And they feel like they're just going to work with no purpose. And it doesn't matter the job, it doesn't matter the pay. If you make $50,000 today and you're just going to work with no purpose, you have no idea why you're there, you just know, I just needed a job. If I were to take you, triple your salary and give you $150,000 a year doing, a different job, once that new car smell wears off, you will eventually feel the exact same way. And the minute that you stop feeling that way is when you define goals for yourself. It's very simple. It is very, very simple. That's not to say that times won't be hard, difficult in achieving that goal, but you now have a purpose. You're not just aimlessly, mindlessly going along. The person that created the company you work for, that you feel like you're such a slave to, they had a goal. So now you're helping them achieve their goal. You need to set your own goal. Work towards it. The minute you are able to do that, you stop viewing this as 9-to-5 slavery. You stop viewing the modern workforce as slavery. I'll see y'all in the next one. We got to do better.